All right, we're ready to begin with Vanderbilt. We've got Coach Stackhouse along with Scotty Pippen and Rodney Chatman. We'll ask Coach for some general thoughts on the game, take your questions for the two student athletes, and excuse them, and then finish up with Coach Stackhouse. Coach, would you begin?
Yeah, it was an awesome game. I thought, hats off to Nate and his team. Those guys really compete at a high level. Very, very tough to defend. We needed all the effort and contributions that we got from our guys tonight. We needed every one of them to beat that team. I know they're going to, do well in the tournament as well, man. But we feel really good about tonight's win, how we competed, how our guys continued to fight. Didn't have a great first half. But we, got down early, but our guys just continued to fight in that second half, stayed together, and we got some wonderful results in the end.
I would take questions for either of the student athletes if you'll raise your hand, and we'll get one of the floor microphones to you. Let's start right on the front row.
Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 in Birmingham. Scotty, this is for you. A lot of rabbit-eared people that are Alabama fans were not happy with your comments last night when you called this a very winnable game. How sweet is it to back up those words with a victory tonight?
Yeah, me and Coach Stackhouse were just talking about that. The other team wasn't too excited I said that either. So it put a chip on their shoulder as well as a chip on ours because, I had to back it up. The team had to back it up. So we knew it was going to be a fight tonight, but obviously it was good to get the win after saying that.
That's a good question on the left side, front row.
Scotty, I think you mentioned something about a Bama coach saying something that sort of gave you guys fuel. When was that, and sort of how did that motivate you?
Yeah, before the game, one of the Bama coaches said that you asked for it, so you're going to get it or something like that. So it's kind of good to get back at him and get the win. So.
And that was something that players sort of just...
Yeah, it's something that we all heard. We all talked about it like, it's on now. We got to go out there and back up what I said. So it was good to get the win.
Raise your hand. Other questions for either of the student athletes? Let's go on the far right.
Either of the guys. What kind of changed in the second half that enabled y'all to go on that run and get back in the game?
Rodney, would you take that one?
Harder. We trusted each other more. The first 2 minutes I was out there, I was tired. I was trying to play my butt off. And it was just contagious to everybody else. We rebounded better, took care of the ball, and made shots. Studi hit 6-3. That was big for us. And Scotty got to the line a lot. So we did a good job in the second half, just making adjustments. Credit to Coach Stackhouse. He's a great coach, and we came out with the victory.
Next question on the right. Did you have one? Yeah, right there.
For Scotty, what's the key to your ability to draw fouls in the lane?
People say it's a talent. I just used to playing against bigger players. I have a kind of old school game, just using a lot of shot fakes and drawing contact, using my my size as an advantage. I've just been practicing a lot, getting able to get players off balance and just using it to my benefit.
Next question on the middle aisle.
Yeah, for Rodney, it looked like you were on the bike there for a few minutes before you came back in the game. How did it react tonight? How's it feel now? And how tough was it to get back into the game at that point and make those plays?
I was just trying to stay warm. I was feeling good, but just me and B. Wells just focus on staying warm when I'm sitting out for a period of time. So we just use the bike when I'm sitting down on the bench for a little minute to just stay warm so I can be ready when I get back on the court.
Next question on the back left. Go ahead.
Hey, Rodney, after all you've been through to get to this point, what did it mean to step up and hit those big shots there in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, it meant a lot. Before that, I even airballed the shot, but, Scotty told me to just keep shooting. I just trust my work I put in. He found me in the corner. It was a big shot. Then I came off a ball screen, hit another three, and, it just felt good, just trusting myself. I've been through a lot. I persevered through a lot. So it's nothing to me, just to keep going. I credit myself on my mentality, to persevere and just push on forward.
Any question on the middle aisle?
Yeah, actually, for both you guys on the corner shot you're talking about, Scotty, it looked like you were kind of in the lane in the air. Were you first thinking shot on that play and then last second kicked it out to him? And what did you see there, Rodney? It looked like you had to put the shot a little higher on that shot too.
Yeah, one of the things on our offense is getting to our bailout spots, and that's the corner. So I knew someone was going to be there, so I knew blindly I could throw it, and someone was going to be there and make the shot. So credit to Rodney for getting in the right spot.
Same question for Rodney.
Yeah, so I just got to the bailout. Coach Stackhouse preached, just paying attention to details. When somebody gets in the lane, they don't have nothing. We know where a guy's going to be blindly, and they had a 6'8" dude closing out, so I airballed him before that, so I just tried to get it up in the air, and it went in.
We'll take one more question. If anybody has one for either of the student athletes, raise your hand. Anyone? All right, last question in the middle.
For both of you again, now it's Kentucky. What about the opportunity ahead of you now tomorrow?
Scotty?
Yeah, they've beaten us twice. I haven't beat them since I've been here, so a little bit of payback. Going to this game with a chip on our shoulder, a little bit of momentum we have. So it's good to see them again, and excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's March. These are the games that we live for, games we grew up watching on TV. It's the moment now. So, I think we're going to be ready for tomorrow. We're going to show up and perform on the court. Like Scotty said, they beat us twice. So, it's March. Anything can happen. As long as we believe and trust in ourselves, anything can happen.
Thank you. We'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. We'll continue on with Coach Stackhouse. If you have a question, raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Start in the middle aisle.
Jerry, what was the change in terms of just the space and getting better shots and things like that first half to second half? What was the adjustment?
I think our guys were a little, I don't know, just tight, but it's just, we were, they came out, they were aggressive, got into us a little bit, sped us up a little bit, and, I think Scotty was pressing. I think, he had the quote last night that everybody kind of ran with, that it was a winnable game, but, nobody's in this tournament is unbeaten. So, it's definitely a winnable game. So, I think that's what he said was truth. But, again, everybody talk about, bulletin board material and all that, but they had to go out there and play the game and prove it, and I thought they did a good job of doing that. Once we settled down, got some good looks, but, and rebounded the basketball, that was the key. I thought we played really good defense, and they still got some second-chance opportunities. But, had to credit Jordan Wright. Again, 10 defensive rebounds from that spot is huge. that was the key to the game. You look at, nobody else. Quentin had 7, but those guys were key. Everybody liked the pretty threes. I liked the pretty threes, too. Miles was good, 6 for 10. But we got to get a few. And Miles had 4 rebounds too. But again, that's the key for us, basically. Tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy this one tonight. But tomorrow with Kentucky and what they present, especially with the Shebway being on the boards, I think we can defend their initial actions. But we got to be able to rebound the basketball. So that's what I'm looking forward to, that challenge. And we got a couple games on tape, right? I always tell our guys kind of like a playoff mentality. Even it's not March Madness is different. It's one game and you're done. But in the pros, it's a series. So once you get a game or two on tape, then you can make those adjustments. So we have a couple games from the regular season where we played pretty well, had an opportunity to win those games. Now hopefully we can, go back and clean up a few things and come out and have a heck of a performance tomorrow night as well.
Other questions for Coach Stackhouse? Raise your hand. Let's go back to the middle aisle.
Yeah, just on Rodney there, I guess he was just keeping it warm, but what does it mean to see someone come in that situation, hit shots like that when, he hasn't been on the floor a whole lot this season?
Rodney's a winner. I talk about it all the time. Again, our guys have, had great development. I feel that Quentin, Scotty, Jordan, those guys have grown. They've matured. Not only on the court but off the court. They're great young men. But in that process of us learning, how to win, I felt like we needed to infuse somebody that had won, and Rodney was that guy. He was there, on that Dayton team. I told him when I was recruiting him, I felt like he could be the gold standard of what we want here as a point guard. Because he has a super basketball IQ mentality, but it's just his calmness under pressure. The guys, they feed off of that. He gives Scotty confidence. He gives Jordan confidence. He gives our whole team confidence just because, he's the coolest dude in the room, no doubt about it. Everybody thinks Scotty's the coolest one, but Rod really is the coolest guy. He's talking to him, and he's an unbelievable basketball mind. He could easily be a coach one day. I know he has aspirations of playing, at the next level, but whenever that's done, he definitely has the mentality and the IQ to coach the game.
Other questions for Coach? Let's go to the right side.
You've talked about it a little bit, but how big was Miles for y'all tonight from beyond the arc, especially with that kind of late 3 to build the 5-point lead with a little over a minute left?
It was huge. Miles, whenever he gets a good look at it and get his feet set, he's one of the best shooters in the country, and I think he's proven that. From a percentage standpoint, he's up there amongst the leaders, top 2 or 3 in our conference, and he just has an edge about him, right? That can get a little crazy sometimes, but that's all right too. I think we need that. We need that edge. I mean, it just kind of takes takes the edge off of our team a little bit when you're a little bit uptight and you got a guy like that makes some shots and start clapping and doing what he does, So, but it's fun to be around those guys, and it's fun to see them have success because he's had some, over the last couple years. I mean, he had some highs and lows and some growing pains, and it's good to see these guys take those growing pains, take those tough film sessions when things didn't go well for us. We sit through them. There's never, no matter how bad it is, it's not a day that we're not going to watch the film and we're going to try to get better from it. And I think that's what we've done, and our guys have grown from that. And and the hard work and some of the lumps that we've taken are helping us to have some of the successes that we're having right now.
Okay, we have time for 1 or 2 more. Let's get one on the far right.
Jerry, forgive me if you've answered this already. Do you feel like the nation is just starting to see what this team can be fully healthy, because you've got your full complement now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it all year, but nobody believed me. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's fun to see it, what we envisioned with a healthy Liam, a healthy Rodney. I mean, that was the key. I mean, that was my selling point to Scotty in this offseason to come back, because we were going to put some people, pieces around him to help him not have to, carry so much of the load. Didn't work out exactly that way. He still had to, but it worked to his benefit. I mean, he still was able to be one of the top scorers in the country. Have high usage and perform at a high level, and kept us afloat. Him on the offensive end, Quentin Millard-Brown on the defensive end. I still say those guys are co-MVPs. With what he does for us, just anchoring our defense. Making sure the one that's out there talking, setting screens, getting those guys open. I mean, we are, again, like I said, we see the end result, those threes, but it's the screens that Quentin sets to get Miles open, to get Scotty free, because the teams pay a lot of attention to him. But it is fun to finally be whole, and for the country to start to take notice of the type of team that we have and the type of capabilities we have. But I got 2 suits down and 3 to go. That's the thought process. I told all the coaches, don't get on the plane if you don't bring 5 suits. So I'm pretty sure they probably didn't bring 5 suits, but hopefully they brought 5 shirt and ties. So.
Got time for one more question. Anybody? All right, let's finish up in the middle aisle.
Was this game especially chippy, Jerry? It seemed like it a little bit back and forth with the benches, and how difficult is it when a game is called that way, when there's so many fouls that kind of break up the flow of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you got high-level athletes out there and they're banging and whatnot. They obviously, coaches, you feel like they miss a few that on your end, and they never call enough for you, and probably Nate feels the same way. But at the end of the day, those guys got a tough job to do, and I thought it was, as much as I felt kind of one-sided that we didn't get the calls that I felt that we could have got in the first half. The free throws were even in the at halftime. So I mean that's all you want. At the end of the day, you want to have some balance there. But it did. I mean I guess they did read the article what Scotty said. I mean I guess one of the coaches might have said something to him. And that's fine. I mean that's part of the game of basketball. It's part of the gamesmanship, But at the end of the day, we did what we came out there and backed it up. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but at the end of the day, he made the plays down the stretch to help us win the game and help us survive another day.
Thank you.